Since World War II, there haven't been any massive wars, and one between two powerful countries like the United States and China is one that would definitely change the world. The US had once attempted to go to war with the Soviet Union, and though it may have been one of the great wars to have happened, it did not eventually take place. Right now, the only country that may have such power and motivation to challenge the United States is none other than China. In today's video, we take a look at what a US versus China war would look like. Let's get right in. Hundreds of years ago, as a form of defending itself from external attacks and threats, China built its Great Wall of China. Over the years, just about a few decades now, China has created various other means to protect its country and also made moves to expand its territory and influence, leading to a massive rise in power for China. Upon the death of Chairman Mao's demise in 1978, China has since begun to open up its economy, and it has seen massive positive changes since then. Every year, China's GDP has seen an increase of an average of 10% and has since 1978 moved from an estimated $149.5 billion to a whopping $17.7 trillion in 2021. As a result, about 800 million people in China, which is around 10% of the world's population, have escaped poverty completely. This massive economic growth thereby connected the country to global supply chains across the world and also created heavy trade dependencies, which brought with it vulnerability. But China is still on its course to becoming the largest economy in the entire world, perhaps sometime in the next decade. The leadership in Beijing has also been on a mission to use that economic growth to transform its military power. Now that China sees itself as an equally strong nation, it thinks that this period is the best time for them to use its power to defend its claimed territories. It is no news that China is the second largest spender on everything military related, right after the United States, which is the world's largest. China appears to be making significant progress in the development of several nuclear weapons and extremely ballistic missiles, and is already a global leader in cyber warfare. China has traditionally been a land power, but in recent years, it has built a naval force from its base, with the majority of it headquartered in Hainan. Currently, it has now amassed and created so many vessels and owns more than any other country does. Although untested, China's warships were built to protect their interests and expand their power beyond vast waters. President Xi Jinping has only one aim, and that is for China to have a world-class military, one that would be capable of fighting wars and winning them too by 2049. Known to be the most influential nation in the world, the United States has the largest economy and also the largest military. But it seems that China is catching up with them and challenging the supremacy of the United States. And quite obviously, the leadership and top influential persons in China do not like this challenge. They can only wonder where China got the audacity from. Of course, there have been tensions between the two nations for many years, with international crisis arising from the 1995 to 96 Third Taiwan Strait conflict, the 1999 US bombing of the Chinese embassy in Belgrade, and the 2001 incident involving the Hainan spy plane. But because of its growth, China is now more competitive with the US. Since both China and the US are seriously competing to lead the world, incidents that may occur between them now could escalate and become an actual war. Neither side is actively seeking a conflict with the other, but there is clearly an intense competition between the two, one aiming to be the world's top leadership and the other struggling to keep its position as the world's strongest country in all ramifications. China's technique to overthrow the United States is to dominate what has come to be called the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Curious as to what exactly this means? Well, keep watching and we will be telling you all you need to know about the revolutions and many more. The first industrial revolution, which occurred between the 18th and 19th centuries, was the use of steam power to mechanize production and create positive productivity and efficiency that has never existed before. After a while, around the 1860s to the 70s, the second industrial revolution came. This one basically brought cheap and abundant electricity that birthed a larger scale of production in the world. The third industrial revolution, which happened in the 1960s, introduced better information technology and advanced electronics to automate production. Now, the third revolution is what is being built upon and is known as the fourth revolution. This new revolution will be an entirely digital revolution, with billions of people bound electronically, breakthroughs in robotics, quantum computing, AI, 3D printing, and so many other aspects of improved technology. Although the fourth revolution is going to be a huge change for the human populace, we still don't know exactly what to expect by then. China is now targeting this fourth revolution as the key to global hegemony, and it is investing heavily, as much as billions of dollars, into realizing its dream of being a dominant power in the coming decades. First, it is planning to dominate the entire field of technology, ensuring that it is the first to create outstanding and revolutionary tech products, which will then exclude it from being dependent on other countries for most of its services. Another thing China is aiming at is turning existing outstanding tech into military technologies that will aid its domination on and allow it to surpass the United States. What China is doing is making every aspect of its militia highly technology-based. And according to the 2021 DoD's China Military Power Report, it wants to create military forces that are mechanized, informationized, and intelligentized. Taiwan, for example, a small island on the coast of China, can be said to be one of the reasons China is aiming to become extremely strong. Taiwan is a democratic country and is of very high importance to both the United States and China. Whilst China believes that Taiwan is related to its domestic legitimacy and wants to expand its power to control Taiwan, the US is also compelled to protect Taiwan no matter what. Attacks on Taiwan by China can be used to launch further into the West Pacific. And there you have it. The US credibility will be undermined if they don't defend Taiwan. The President of the United States has committed to defending Taiwan, but China is only more upset since it has long wanted to control Taiwan and unify it with Beijing. That's not the end of it all. You see, China is safer on its land borders. It has weaker neighbors and an expansive army. But in the South China Sea, the trajectory is different as China is surrounded by various democracies, all with powerful militias like South Korea, Japan, Australia, and many more. This route through the South China Sea is important to China as it is the channel through which it imports energy and food. So to China, it seems like total control over the waterways is a thing of survival because those routes have to be opened for them. At this point, we don't know what to expect and if China will eventually topple the United States. But one thing is for sure, nothing is impossible when it comes to a war between nuclear countries. And we have come to the end of today's video. Hope you enjoyed watching this as much as we enjoyed making it. What do you think of China's move to topple the United States and become the world's most powerful country? Do share your thoughts in the comment section. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and tap the bell icon so you can get notifications about any future videos.